What's up guys, welcome back to TV Box Top. So we have been having a lot of low performance overpriced TV boxes these days, and we are being faced with long delays and in some cases poor customer service. Well, today I'm happy to review a TV box that's pretty decent when it comes to performance, features and price. So the box I'm referring to is the brand new SZBOX TOX1 Amlogic S905X3 4K TV box. This box delivers some much needed relief from all the stresses imposed on us by all of the low performance and overpriced models. So I invite you to stay with me for the next 25 minutes as I help you decide whether the TOX1 by SZBOX is worth your investment. So stay tuned, that's up next. So I'm back and let's get right into it. In the box you get the TV box itself, one IR remote, one HDMI cable, a 5V 2A DC power adapter, an external antenna, and your user's manual. The box itself is made of plastic. It has a unique design where to the top you have the TOX branding and the top ventilation holes, and I really appreciate this one. To the rear of the box, you have one HDMI port, a LAN port, and the DC power input. To one side, you have one USB 3.0 port, one USB 2.0, and a micro SD card reader. To the other side, you have an external antenna and some cooling vents. To the front, you have an LED clock display. And below the box, you have 4 rubber feet, a reset button, and some more cooling vents. So I'll now set this up and continue. So I'm all set, and for its boot up process, you have the TOX1 boot up animation for a few seconds. Then you're taken directly to the launcher. The boot process is snappy and loads quickly. When you start for the first time, you have the choice of 2 stock launchers. The first launcher is called the Media Box launcher, and its layout is more suited to work with the stock remote. The second launcher is called the Quick Step launcher, and this one is more suited to use with an Air Mouse or a mini touchpad keyboard or with any controller with a mouse pointer to navigate the box. So for this review, I'll be using the Quick Step launcher. So this is the Quick Step launcher, and it has features like the ones used on Ugoose boxes, which is a good thing. And immediately you can see that it comes with a navigation bar and a status bar to the top with full system controls. And you also have the option to change its wallpaper. In this firmware, you have the following features: 4K display up to 2160p at 60Hz, HDR settings, HDMI CEC settings, built-in screen rotation, hardware monitor settings. You have a root switch, Samba server settings, user script settings, power definition options, USB host mode option, and options that controls the behavior of the navigation bar and status bar. Once I connected to the internet and checked for firmware updates, there was one update pending and that was completed successfully. So in the apps section, these are the apps that come pre-installed. And in this list, I see they have included Miracast, which I'll be testing later in the video. They have also included Kodi and the 2 bloatware games. So I'll install my additional set of apps needed to complete my review and continue. So I'm all set, and my first order of business is to check its system and hardware information. It says here that the box has 4GB of RAM, which is DDR4 memory, and 32GB of internal storage. I've already installed all my apps and games, so this is the remainder. You also have the option to install up to 128GB of expandable storage converted to shared internal storage via SD card, and you can convert up to 2TB via USB. I attempted to format a 4TB external hard drive and the process failed, so 2TB is the limit. The box comes with Bluetooth 4.2 support, and that is represented by the 4+ below here. The CPU is the Amlogic S905X3, and it's a quad-core CPU clocked at 1.9 GHz configured in 32-bit mode. It only has 32-bit ABI support, which limits it to 32-bit applications. Its display is powered by the Mali G31 GPU, Its resolution is 4K 2160p with a refresh rate of 60Hz with OpenGL version 3.2, which is really good for gaming. You have dual band 2.4 plus 5 GHz Wi-Fi support. It shows that the operating system is Android 9 Pie and the device is currently rooted. With its unique housing design with ventilation holes to the top and base, the operating temperature is around 57 degrees Celsius. If you apply an active cooling fan, you can get it to drop as low as 35 degrees. And I will show its levels under stress during 3D gaming. It comes with all the decoders needed for the playback of 4K videos with digital surround sound audio formats. However, I'm not seeing any Dolby or DTS decoders in this list. I will, however, provide proof of existence later in the digital audio surround sound test. And that's it for system and hardware information, and let's now quickly look at some benchmarks. First, the results of its RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. The TOX1 has a RAM copy speed of 3276 MB per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 72 MB per second and a write speed of 17. These scores are OK scores consistent with other S905X3 boxes. Next are the results of its Wi-Fi bands and the LAN speed test. The box has a maximum bandwidth on the 5 GHz band and on the Ethernet LAN port. The 2.4 GHz band fell below by 12%, which is actually pretty good bandwidth for this box. Here is the result of the AnTuTu benchmark. The TOX1 got a score of 71,389. This is an OK score, also consistent with other S905X3 boxes, and we'll see in a moment where it places on the chart. Next are the results of the Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark. In this test, the TOX1 got a score of 744 single core and 2045 multi-core. These scores are also consistent. In the GPU graphics benchmark, the box got a score of 5424 in the Ice Storm Extreme test and 497 in the Slingshot test. So there are no surprises in these benchmarks as they are all consistent with other S905X3 boxes. So let's now see where it places on the chart. So the scores are in, and the TOX1 is at position number 24 in reference to AnTuTu benchmark scores, which is not bad at all for this mid-range TV box. You can view this chart on my website where you can view the top performing TV boxes for 2020. See the link in the description directly below this video. To begin testing its features, I will first test to see if other launchers besides the ones that come pre-installed work on this box. I installed the ADW Launcher 2 alternative launcher, which is by far the most compatible launcher that works with the Amlogic S905X3 chipset, and it works with all features working such as long click menu pop-ups and drag and drop shortcuts. The next feature is screen rotation. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that this box has built-in screen rotation, but that was an error. What you have is a screen center switch that enables and disables the rotation feature. When I installed a screen rotation app and tried to rotate the screen, what happens is that the screen auto-centers itself, similar to what happens when you rotate the screen of your mobile phone, and there's no way to set it in a fixed position unless you switch it off and leave it standard in landscape mode. For those interested in root access and having the luxury of enabling or disabling it, it comes with a root switch. Here you can see the root checker app shows that you have root access and you can easily disable it with the root switch. It's not an instant switch, you have to reboot the box for the new root state to take effect. Before I get into streaming, here is its DRM information. And it shows that the TOX1 has Google Widevine Level 3 with no HDCP protection. This level of digital rights will affect its ability to run paid premium streaming services such as Netflix and Amazon Prime Video in HD and 4K quality. When it comes to streaming movies and TV shows, you have many options with the TOX1. First, you have Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and other paid premium streaming services. Even though these services cannot play in HD or 4K quality due to the lack of DRM support, you can, however, view them in basic 480p, which in most cases are very watchable. The Android TV version of YouTube comes pre-installed, and you can watch YouTube videos in as high as 4K 2160p quality. For those who would like to cast their mobile device to the box, it comes with the official version of Miracast that plays in HD quality. Here I'm casting my mobile phone to the box and it does this without issues. For those who have libraries of HD and 4K videos in HDR format and would like to play them on this box, I will now do a demonstration of its 4K HDR playback capabilities.
Only a win for Barca would be enough because it would give them the same number of points as Atletico, but the head-to-head goal difference is what counts in the case of a tie on points. The mosaic of the Camp Nou and the Barcelona hymn being sung as reference. It's a typical Adriano shot, unable to really test Courtois, but Coque with the ball, Villa to his right, and
the videos played okay without issues, which means this box has excellent 4K HDR video playback handling. The videos also triggered the HDR icon on my TV, which means that it has HDR display. As mentioned earlier in the system and hardware information segment, I didn't see any Dolby or DTS audio decoders in the list. In my further investigation, to my surprise, I discovered that the TOX1 could play all of the digital audio surround sound formats, and that also includes Dolby TrueHD. Let's have a look at that now.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you.
Juries, executioners, judges.
This is the left channel. Next, we have the center channel. Over here is the right channel.
So this test proves that the TOX1 can play all of the digital surround sound audio formats including Dolby TrueHD. So it appears that someone is finally getting the decoders right in their firmware. As I wind up this video, for my final demonstration, I will connect my Bluetooth gamepad to test for Bluetooth stability, and I will play some Android games to test for graphics rendering, gamepad key mapping, and overheating issues, seeing that we have this dual vertical ventilation design. so the games played okay with good graphics rendering. You have gamepad key mapping capability and the box did not overheat. In summary, the TOX1 by SZBOX is a good TV box, there's no better way to say it. It has good hardware, great features, the same as high-end UGOOS models. It can play Dolby TrueHD, the first mid-range TV box to achieve this. It has firmware updates and costs just $60. With that said, I'm recommending the TOX1 by SZBOX as a very good TV box to buy. Reason being, there's no other mid-range TV box that can play Dolby TrueHD. It's clocked at 1.9 GHz, which gives it great performance, and its new ventilation design ensures that it keeps cool under intensive activities. On the downside, it does not have the required DRM support to play Netflix in HD and 4K quality, and it comes with a stock IR remote. So this brings to an end my review of the TOX1 Android TV box from SZBOX. I'm ending this review on a good note, feeling happy and confident that we are starting to see the changes the TV box community have been clamoring about for a long time. So if you would like to get your hands on the TOX1 before stocks run out, and from what I've been told is in limited supply, don't waste any time. See the link in the description below this video where you can get it on Amazon.com for just $59.99 directly from SZBOX. Thanks for watching. Give this video the thumbs up if you believe this box deserves it. And if you are a first time viewer to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little notifications bell before leaving to be notified when I release new videos or decide to do a giveaway. It has been a pleasure having you for this review. Stay tuned and I'll be seeing you in the next one.